Welcome to this video on surviving college when you're broke and building a future that pays you back. We'll talk about the hard truths, the fastest ways to stabilize, and the practical steps to secure a high ROI career. To set the tone, we'll be direct, respectful, and action-oriented. Now let's quickly preview what's ahead and then dive in. Here is the agenda. First, we cover why increasing your work hours is often necessary. Next, we dig into education as your exit strategy, including high ROI majors and paid experience. Then, we move into immediate financial triage, stopping high-interest debt, fixing toxic credit, and using available resources. After that, we'll map high ROI paths and a practical timeline. We will include quick quizzes to cement the ideas. Finally, we wrap with key takeaways and your next steps. Let's begin with the hard truth. If your basic needs are not consistently met, 10 hours per week of work is likely insufficient, especially in high-cost regions. Moving toward 20 or more hours weekly is often necessary. The key is to do it strategically so you can still progress academically. Look for roles with paid downtime or flexible scheduling. Now let's turn that principle into practical tactics you can use immediately. Pursue campus roles that offer paid downtime where you can study while on shift, such as library monitors, computer lab assistants, or residence hall desk workers. If you need additional income, add a second flexible job with hours that do not conflict with classes. Consider weekends, early morning, or late night shifts. Minimize commuting costs by choosing jobs near campus or remote options. Use time blocking. Reserve non-negotiable study and class time first, then schedule work in the remaining windows. Finally, calculate your effective hourly rate by accounting for commute time, unpaid breaks, and variability like tips to determine which role truly pays better. Next, we'll stabilize your finances with immediate triage. Start by stopping the financial bleeding. Prioritize required minimum payments, and then apply any extra funds toward the highest interest credit card first. Next, fix toxic credit by disputing any accounts opened when you were a minor, or any fraudulent activity with the credit bureaus. Then, use available resources, local food banks, campus emergency aid, and, if eligible, food assistance programs. After stabilizing, build a small cash buffer covering 1 to 2 weeks of essentials. Only when this buffer is in place and high-interest debt is under control should you consider high-yield savings accounts or investing. Now, with short-term stability addressed, let's focus on education as the exit strategy. Your degree is the primary exit from intergenerational poverty, so select high ROI majors and coursework. If you have a math background, consider actuarial science, quantitative finance, data analytics, or related fields. Pursue paid internships and co-ops aggressively because they provide income, practical experience, and paths to job offers. If considering actuarial science, begin preparing for exams P and FM. For quantitative or data roles, build a portfolio of projects demonstrating statistical reasoning, programming, and problem solving. Document achievements through projects and certifications, and secure references. Network intentionally using career fairs, LinkedIn outreach to alumni, and informational interviews to open doors. Next, let's compare high ROI paths with concrete examples. This table presents illustrative high ROI education to career paths. Actuarial science often begins with actuarial analyst roles, with pay influenced by exam progress and internship experience. Quantitative or data tracks start with analyst or quantitative internships, where portfolios and practical projects carry significant weight. Software development, if you choose to pivot, can have higher early compensation, but is competitive and portfolio-driven. Accounting and finance roles offer stable paths, and certifications like CPA or CFA can enhance earnings over time. These ranges vary by region and economic conditions. Now let's map a timeline from today through graduation to your first full-time role. The timeline begins with immediate actions. Audit your debts, dispute any fraudulent or minor age accounts, and apply for food or emergency aid. Over the next 30 days, increase work hours toward 20 or more per week where possible, and build a 1 to 2 week cash buffer. During the current semester, submit at least 30 internship applications, attend career events, and complete 2 portfolio projects. In summer, aim for a paid internship or co-op, and pass either a relevant exam or complete a targeted certificate. Over the following academic year, secure a second internship or co-op, and expand your networking reach. In the final semester, focus on interview preparation, complete interviews, negotiate offers, and plan your relocation budget if applicable. Next, we will compare on-campus versus off-campus work options to optimize your schedule and earnings. Campus roles typically offer short commutes and sometimes allow studying during shifts, making schedules easier to coordinate with classes. However, pay can be slightly lower, though the effective hourly rate is often higher due to minimal commute time. Off-campus gigs may offer higher nominal pay and more scheduling variety, including weekends and evenings, but commute time and unpredictability may reduce the true effective hourly rate. The right choice depends on your schedule, proximity, and the ability to study on the job. Now, let's test your understanding with a quick quiz. Question: when you are hungry and have high-interest credit card debt, what should you prioritize first? Options: 1. Invest $5 to start a habit. 2. Open a high-yield savings account. 3. Eliminate high-interest debt and secure food resources. 4. Apply for a new rewards credit card. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is to eliminate high-interest debt and secure food resources. Immediate stability and halting compounding interest take precedence over saving or investing. This aligns with financial triage priorities. Next, let's try a second question about toxic credit. Question: you discover accounts opened in your name when you were a minor. What is the right move? Options: 1. Ignore them because they will drop off soon. 2. Pay them off quietly to avoid trouble. 3. Dispute them with the credit bureaus as identity fraud. 4. Open a new card to increase your credit limit and offset. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is to dispute the accounts with the credit bureaus as identity fraud. Accounts opened when you were a minor are not legitimate, and disputing them is essential to repairing your credit profile. With that clarified, let's capture the core principles to remember. These are the core principles. First, maximize income now by working toward 20 or more hours per week if it can be done safely and sustainably. Second, stabilize essentials before any investing. Third, prioritize high-interest debt because compounding interest is the main enemy. Fourth, dispute fraudulent or minor age accounts immediately to clean your credit. Fifth, select high ROI majors and pursue paid internships aggressively. Sixth, evaluate jobs by effective hourly rate, not just nominal pay, accounting for commute and unpaid time. Now, before we wrap up, let's include a brief but important disclaimer. This content is for educational purposes only and is not financial, legal, or tax advice. Your situation may differ, and regulations or program availability can change. Consult appropriate professionals for personalized advice. Now let's summarize your action plan. Here is your action plan. This week, increase your work hours, apply for food or emergency resources, and create a time block schedule. This month, build a 1 to 2 week cash buffer and begin attacking your highest APR debt first. This semester, submit at least 30 internship applications, complete 2 portfolio projects, and network weekly. Over the next 6 to 12 months, aim for a paid internship or co-op, pass a relevant exam or earn a certificate, and build strong references. Before graduation, prepare for interviews, negotiate offers, and plan any relocation budget. Finally, let's close out with a thank you and a quick call to action. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please like the video, share it with a friend who needs it, and subscribe for more Survival to Success playbooks. Tell us in the comments what your very next step will be and what you want covered next.